So, here Ananya.
Hi.
Hello Arya.
Hi, sir.
So before we start the class, some of you or most of you would have seen the message that I sent in the WhatsApp group mentioning that we'll have a test tomorrow. And that test, again, as I said, nobody in the class should worry about the test. This is not to grade anybody and say somebody is best or somebody did not do good and things like that. Okay, it is primarily to assess myself as a teacher to understand if I have been able to explain the concepts well enough to you guys, and that gives me an insight into what are the key topics or the concepts that is not clear to you guys. So that's what we'll do. I have picked up for you guys. I have picked up one of the sample tests for SAT, because this is our SAT group. You're cold? Not cold. You okay? Okay. So we'll pick up one sample SAT prep test and we'll just go through it. Some of the topics that I have not probably covered, that also will come to my knowledge, and we'll pick up those topics. And the topics that I have taught and explained, if there is any doubt, where I see you guys fumbling or taking more time or you are struggling, that will give me an insight into what we want to do next after the test. So it'll be like a monthly reflection of how we are learning, how our journey of learning is going on, and where we have to press the gas pedal, where we have to kind of tweak our strategy a little bit to be much more comfortable with the concepts that we need to be aware of. Does that make sense? So no preparation needed, no stress out. It's a recurring exercise that we'll do every month, starting this month, and then that will just give an insight into how prepared are we when we go for the SAT exam. Okay, how much we know about the concepts that we need to know. Make sense? All right, so let me do a quick roll call and understand who all are there in the call. So we have Ananya, we have Arya, Aryan, Dev, Neil, Rehan, Sarah, Shravya, Sivatsab. Still few kids are missing. I believe they would be joining soon, or at least because Christmas has not started yet. We still have 2 more weeks to go. All right, so what are we? Yes, Aryan.
Oh, wait, sorry. I didn't mean to, sir.
What is that?
I didn't mean to, sir.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. So again, some of you are in 9th grade, some of you are in 10th, some of you are in 11th grade. So this is we are going to get used to SAT preparation for maths in a way that we do it every month. Every month we do tests to see how we are, how comfortable we are, how used to we are seeing those question papers, when we go to the actual test. So that's why I want you guys to get used to and get bored of what you need to prepare for SAT, so that SAT exam doesn't look like something scary enough. Okay, so does that sound well? I mean, does that sound okay to you all? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Okay, yeah. So what are we going to learn today? So if you guys remember, or if any of you got a chance to look at what I posted in the WhatsApp group, let me just read it for you guys. So what we are going to do today is arithmetic and geometric sequences. So how do we deal with what do we mean by arithmetic sequence? And yeah,
arithmetic sequence is basically when you have a starting number and you add or subtract a constant amount from it.
correct.
And geometric is when you multiply or divide.
Correct. So yeah, so basically we are going to learn or understand what is an arithmetic sequence, what is a geometric sequence, and then how do we deal with the operations that comes along with those sequences. So now let's look at one example. Anybody have any question before I move on? I'll take that as a no. Alright, so let's look at these numbers. So what do we see? It's 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19. I can just simply keep going on. And let's look at another sequence where we say 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, so on and so forth. If I just keep moving like this. What is that we see in the pattern here? That this is starting with 1 and we are adding 3 becomes 4. Add 3 more becomes 7. Add 3 more becomes 10. So basically we see a pattern here. If I would have put this as 11, that would have got everybody confused. Right? I mean, that would have kind of breached the pattern. So my pattern is this. And it keeps going. So what we see is between two numbers, the difference is this. This is a classic example of arithmetic sequence where every subsequent number and the previous number, the difference remains the same. Meaning the difference between these two and the difference between these two and the difference between these two remains the same. That's what we mean by arithmetic sequence. Now, when you look at the second one, here what you see, multiplied by 2 becomes 4, multiplied by 2 becomes 8, multiplied by 2 becomes 16, so on and so forth. So when, as Pranit was saying, that when the difference between two consecutive numbers remains the same, that is what is called an arithmetic sequence. When the ratio between the two subsequent numbers remains the same, between any two subsequent numbers remains the same, that is called geometric sequence. Is that part okay so far with respect to understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, same thing will apply. Let's say if I say 8, 15, 22, 29, if I go like this. Here also the same thing. You see the difference between these two is 7, 7, 7, right? So, there is no predefined criteria saying, okay, your difference has to be this one. The criteria is that the difference between two consecutive numbers has to be the same, regardless of whether it's a difference of 1 or whether it's a difference of 1 million. Okay? So, if we just look at these numbers, it looks very easy, fun to deal with, but we don't want to stop there. We want to go to the next level where we try formulating a pattern. Let's say my first number is A. What will be my next number? If the difference between two numbers is D, A plus D. What will be my third number? A plus 2D, A plus 3D. And I can just keep going on. Yeah? So here, between this number and this number, what is the difference? D. Between this number and this number, what is the difference? That is D. So A is your starting number and D is your difference. So if you have to find out what will be the nth number, what will that be? Nth number. So look at this pattern, okay? Again, don't have to worry so much. My first number was A. Second number had A plus 1D. A plus 1D. My third number had A plus 2D. Third number, okay? Fourth number had A plus 3D. Yep.
Will it be 8 plus ND?
No, it will be A plus N minus 1 times D. Again, related. First number had A. So, if I say my N is 1, it becomes A plus 0, A plus 1 minus 1, that is 0, A plus 0D, which is the first number. My second number is A plus D. Second number, in place of N I will put a 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, so A plus D. My third number is A plus 2D, so N is 3, third number is N is 3. Third number is, in place of N I will put a 3, so 3 minus 1, 2. So what you see here is, if your starting number is A, your second number is A plus 2 minus 1D, third number is A plus 3 minus 1D. So it's always the place, the nth value minus 1D. Third one has 3 minus 1, 2d. Fourth one has 4 minus 1, that is 3d. Fifth one will be 5 minus 1, a plus 4d. Yeah. So nth number will be a plus n minus 1 times d. Now you can generalize this formula. I mean, this is a general formula for nth number in a arithmetic progression, arithmetic sequence or progression. I mean, we learned it being called progression, how it progresses from one to another. You guys call it sequence. Both are the same. So the nth number is whichever position you are talking about, that minus 1 times the differential amount plus the starting number. Is it making sense so far? Yeah? Okay. Ananya, you're with me? Shravya?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So now, so this way, if you're talking about arithmetic progression or sequence, the nth term in that sequence would be this. So you might come across a question which will say, this is my, let's say, starting with 6, 14, 22, 30. What will be the 20th number in the sequence? 20th number in the sequence. 20th number in the sequence. What will you do? What is your A? Your A is 6. What is the difference? You see a pattern. 14 minus 6 is 8. 22 minus 14 is 8. 30 minus 32 is 8. So it's arithmetic progression, arithmetic sequence. So what you see, your difference between two consecutive numbers is 8. Now we know the nth value is nothing but a plus n minus 1 times the b. Here we are talking about 20th number. So let's say 20th number in this sequence will be a is 6 plus 20 minus 1 times the d, which is my difference, 8. Yeah, so 19 times 8 is 152 plus 6. Is this part okay so far?
Where did you get the 8 from?
This 8 is nothing but the difference. And
Also, subtract.
yeah, so the difference between two consecutive numbers, that is my difference.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's play with this little bit, because math is all about playing. Now, if I say I have a sequence of numbers, I don't know whether it's arithmetic progression sequence or geometric sequence, whatever it is. So far we have not talked about geometric sequence much, so we'll not deal with that. But let's see. These are my these are the sequence I have, these are numbers I have, and I want you guys to find out the 18th number in this sequence. And I would want you to try this out and tell me what that value would be. And then I would want you to just explain to me. Once you are done, tell me the answer, and then I'll probably call out the names to understand how did you go about it. So next 5 minutes is for you guys. Yes, Dave.
Oh, sure, I solved it.
What is the answer? Just tell me the answer for now.
I got 262.
262. Okay. I would request everybody not to get biased by this. You also got 262. Okay. Because they might go wrong. And I'm not doubting Dave, but yeah, I'm saying everybody should do their own bit. So, nth value formula that I was talking about, it is always a plus n minus 1 times d. And you don't have to remember this, okay? You don't really have to remember this. What we saw when we were looking at the example, what we saw was, my first one starts with the a, second one has a plus d, which is second 2 minus 1, second position, 2 minus 1, so 1d. Third one has a plus 2d, which is 3 minus 1d. So even if you don't remember the formula, as long as you remember the concept, that should be the approach to go. You cool? Shall we go inside? Yeah, no, so in this classroom I have to make some arrangement actually. I have to put some heating stuff. Or at least till I don't arrange that, I'm planning to do it in the month of January. I'll do it. Till we don't do it, I'll request you guys to be remote so that you don't have to deal with a stream recognition. Alright. And two small heaters in those two corners should help actually. Yeah.
Is this gonna be on the test tomorrow?
I don't know, okay, because what I have done is I have picked up a sample SAT this thing. So that may have, may not have, I would not know actually.
Okay. How many questions is it?
I'm sorry?
How many questions are there?
I think 25 or 26 questions.
Oh. Is it on? Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty much aligns with what you would get to see in your SAT exam as well. So I picked up a sample test which is there online. I mean, I took help from my daughter who did SAT this year. So you might be knowing her, Trisha. So she helped me get some sample questions. So that's what we'll use. And again, as I said, don't have to worry about it because you still have some time for SAT. It is just going to tell us what are those sections or the areas where we have to brush up the concepts to be better prepared for the actual exam. Yeah? So be assured, nobody is going to get any grades, okay? This is only for me to know, am I doing a good job as a teacher or not? And some of you who have joined late, they would get opportunity to kind of brush up those concepts. Yes, Aryan.
So like, if you can't make it tomorrow at the time, can you do it another day?
So in that case, some of the kids who cannot attend tomorrow, probably we will not be able to do the test this month. But what I will do is, anyways, the question paper I am going to send it out in the WhatsApp group. So you can just take that question paper, put yourself in an exam-like situation and try solving it in 1 hour's time and see how you are doing. Okay?
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah, and then you can send it out to me. I mean, see, I don't do policing, okay? You guys are grown up enough, so you can do it and send it to me. I mean, that way you will also know how prepared you are, what are the things that is not known to you, right? And then we can learn those things. That is why we are joining the class, correct?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right, are we done or somebody is still working on it? So who all did not join today? Chris had informed me. Sarah, Ravi are here, Nia is here. Arya is here. He will not be able to join today. Krisha did not join. Alright, so who all was able to solve it? Arya, Neil, Sarah. Any luck with this one? Shravya,
Solve it.
solve it. How much was your answer?
262.
Wonderful. So everybody is becoming good friends. How about you, Arya?
1 second, sir.
How
I'm
about-
solving it.
Okay, how about you, Shravya? Rehan, were you able to solve it, brother?
Yes, sir.
Was your answer also 262?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's wrap up this one quickly, so that we can learn more things. So here, I mean, we are just trying to find out the 18th number in the sequence, and as we know, the nth value in the sequence is a plus n minus 1 to times d. What is a is my starting number. What is d? D is the difference between two consecutive numbers if this is a arithmetic sequence, and then n is the nth value that we are trying to find out. So here a is my 7, my d, which is okay. So before we try solving it, we should always get into the habit of validating whether this is an arithmetic sequence or not, because there could be times when you are given a question where the question itself is not right. So validate. This is 7. 22 minus 7 is 15. 37 minus 22 is 15, and 52 minus 37 is 15. So the difference between two consecutive numbers is same. So that means this is arithmetic sequence. And now, if this is arithmetic sequence, what are the things that you know? You know your starting number is a, which is 7, and your difference between two consecutive numbers is 15. That also you know. You are trying to find out the 18th number in this sequence. 18th number in this sequence. So you are saying 18. There is no nth now. You are clear about the value of n. So then it becomes a is your 7 plus 18. So in place of n you will have 18, and then multiplied by d. D is nothing but 15. So it becomes 7 plus 18 minus 1, 17 times 15. 17 times 15 is 255. So that makes it 262. Yep. So this was not that difficult to think. We were just trying to kind of make sure that the concepts that we have learned, we are able to apply that. Yes, Shivatsa.
Sir, I forgot how to solve it. Now I understand it because I know the values of the variables.
Correct. So again, you might end up forgetting the formula also. Okay, that is very normal, right? Because I'm sure you guys have got better memory than me. I keep on forgetting formulas, and that is why you would have seen that in every class, instead of stressing on the formula, I stress on how that formula has come into existence. So that way, even if I forget the formula, I can probably go back to the step-by-step approach to figure it out. So that's what I would do. So that's why I was looking at the numbers. First thing I did was I validated whether it's part of the arithmetic sequence or not, and then we tried solving it. Yeah. All right. So I'm assuming everybody understood this. Now comes the fun part of it. Let's look at another arithmetic sequence. A plus B, A plus 2D, A plus 3D, and keeps going on. This is my arithmetic sequence. Everybody with me? Now, I want to know, how do I find, let's say somebody says, find out the sum of first 50 terms in the sequence, or first 50 sequence in this, numbers in the sequence. First 50 numbers in the sequence. There's a formula for it. And the interesting fact is, I forgot. I don't remember that. I don't remember that, honestly, okay? I'm not bluffing. Now, don't worry. Let me see if I can derive this formula on the fly. If I'm talking about adding first number, only first number, okay? So then let's say if S stands for sum, I will say sum of first number is, I'll call it 1 as 1, okay? Is A. Now, if I have to add first two numbers, what will that be? A plus D. Okay? What did I get? 2A plus D. If I have to add first three numbers, what will that be? A plus D plus A plus 2D. Yeah? So by adding these three, what it becomes? 1A, 2A, 3A. So it becomes 3A plus D plus 2D. That is 3D. Okay? So let's look at the pattern here, okay? So, and I have still not reached to a conclusion, okay? So let's say if I'm talking about only first number, it is A. If I'm talking about second number, first two numbers, I'm getting 2A plus D. If I'm talking about first three numbers, what am I getting? 3A plus 3D. Okay? Now if I talk about adding first four numbers, S4, that will be A, that is my first number, this is my second number, this is my third number, this is my fourth number. What did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4A plus 1 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 6. 6D. Okay? Okay? So, sum of first four number is 4A plus 6D. Okay? And I will still go on. Okay? If I talk about the fifth number, what do I get? A plus D plus A plus 2D, which is my third number. Now my fourth number. Now my fifth number. What do I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is plus 1 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 4, 10. So what did I get? My fifth term is 5A plus 10D. 5A plus 10D. Remember this. Okay? So my fifth term is 5A plus 10D. Now we have done enough of this one. Now let's look at this pattern. If I am talking about sum of first number, I mean we are just talking about first number, which is A. One number, 1A. Sum of two numbers, 2A plus D. Now observe this pattern, okay? This is very important. This will help you have the luxury of not memorizing the formula, okay? So, when I'm looking at the only one number, I have an A. When I'm looking at two numbers, I have 2A plus D. So, number of A's is same as the number of numbers in the sequence that we are trying to add. 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A. Okay? So if you are trying to add first 5 numbers, you are adding 5 A's for sure. And then you have certain number of D's. First one had 0 D's. Second one had 1 D. Third one had 3 D. Fourth one had 6 D. Fifth one had 10 D's. Just 1 second. Ma'am, I'm in a class. Yeah. Okay, so what do you see here? First, A is predictable. If you're talking about first number, 1A. Talking about two numbers, 2A. talk about 3 numbers, 3a, fourth number 4a, 5a. So if you talk about first 6 numbers, 6a. Now, how many d's? First one has 0d, second one has 1d, third one has 3d, fourth one has 6d, fifth one has 10d. Are you able to see any relationship here?
No.
Now, there is one. So let's do one thing. Let's look at one more number. Let's go to the 6th number also and see what happens. A, first number, then second number, then third number, then fourth number, then fifth number, then 6th number, yeah, add them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know that if I talk about 6 numbers, so you will have 6 A's, that is fine. How many D's? 1 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 4, 10 plus 5, 15. So your 6th number has 6A plus 15D. 6th number has 6A plus 15D. So now see, if we are able to predict what is the number of D's we will have, then this part you anyways know. So first one has 0, then you have 1D, 0D, 1D, then you have 3 D's, then you have 6 D's, then you have 10 D's, then you have 15 D's. See, between first and second, the difference is 1. Second and third, the difference is 2. Third and fourth, the difference is 3. Fourth and fifth, the difference is 4. Fifth and sixth, the difference is 5. I'll let you guys process this information. So how many number of D's you will have, that is dependent on how this number is growing itself. It starts from 0, 1, 1 plus 2. So look at this, 0, this is 0 plus 1, this is 0 plus 1 plus 2, this is 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, this is 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, this is 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Not like a factorial. I mean, yeah, factorial is multiplication, you are adding them. Yeah. I know this might be looking confusing. So, yeah. Yes, Dave.
I just had a question. Is there like an equation we could use to find D, like there is for factorial?
So that's what we are coming to actually, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here, if you look at this one, so nth number, if you're talking about first one, how many D's you will have? You know that you will have 0 D's. Second number, so you are going to number of D's which is that number minus 1. So if you are talking about first number, first 1 minus 0 D. Second number, 0 plus 1, that many D's. Third one is 0 plus 1 plus 2, that many number of D's. Fourth one is 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, that many number of D's. So basically you are talking about sum of, so if you are talking about nth number, if you are talking about sum of nth number, that means you are talking about sum of 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to n minus 1, this many D's. Yeah. Now, so for now we'll keep it here, okay? So I'm not trying to complicate this for now. Okay. What I'm saying is, if I'm talking about any sum of any numbers, let's say in an arithmetic sequence, that means we are talking about, there's a symbol used for this one which is called sigma. Sigma of, let's say, a sequence of, let's call that sequence as S or A, arithmetic sequence, right? So A. First n numbers. This will be equal to n times A, you'll have that many times A, plus sum of 0, 1, 2, 3 up to n minus 1. This many times of D. Yep. Now, does anybody in the class know what is sum of 1 to n minus 1? There is a formula for that also. I myself don't remember that. I will probably try finding it out for you guys, okay? But conceptually, if you look at it, what we are trying to do is, if I have an arithmetic sequence, if somebody says, find out the sum of first 5 numbers, how can we find it out? So instead of giving you guys a formula, which I myself have forgotten, I'm telling you how will you do it. Now let's use this scenario for solving an actual problem. Okay, if I have a arithmetic sequence like, let's say, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, okay, and so on. If somebody says, find out the sum of first 15 numbers, what will be my approach? Okay, sum of first 15 numbers means sum of, let's say, this sequence, in this arithmetic sequence, 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, yeah, it's an arithmetic sequence. If I have to find out the sum of first 15 numbers, I know that I will have 15A plus sum of 0, 1, 2 till 14, this many time of D. Okay. Now, here what is my A? My A is 3, so it becomes 15 times 3 plus sum of 0 to 14 times D. My D is only 2. So this becomes 15 3 are 45 plus 1 to 14 we have to add. So 1 plus 2 3 plus 3 6 plus 4 10 plus 5 15 plus 6 21 plus 7 28 plus 8 36 plus 9 45 plus 10 55 plus 11 66 plus 12 78 plus 13 91 plus 14 105 times 2. So this gives me 45 plus 105 into 2 is 210 and this gives me 255. So what I taught you guys was probably a little lame approach, but the way it will help you is at least you can solve it for a decent number of nth position till nth position of sum of nth position. Now, how do you find sum of 0 to n minus 1? There is a formula for that. I'll just find it out. It's just slipping my mind right now. I'll just find it out and send it to you guys. Okay? There's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. How do you do it? Okay. See, we can use the same formula here. What we're talking about is sum of 0 to 1, 2, 3 up to 14. Again, same thing we can apply here. So we are talking about 15 terms starting from 0. Okay. So what is my difference? My difference is D. So starting point is 0. So 15 times 0, this is 0, plus sum, okay, no, this will not work. There's a different way to do it, okay? I will find out that formula for you guys. I'm probably just missing that one. I'll find it. Yeah. But summary is this: if you have an arithmetic sequence, if you have to find out the nth number in that sequence, how do you find it? A plus n minus 1 t. And if you're talking about finding out the sum of first if you're talking about how do you find the sum of first n numbers, then you know that if you're talking about n numbers, n times a plus sum of 0 to n minus 1 times a, and that is what gives you this one. So if you have to find out sum of first 5 numbers, you know that if you have to count from 0 to 5 minus 1, 4, add them together, that way times d plus 5 times a, the starting number. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's do one thing. I have got an idea to keep you guys busy and use that time for quickly figuring out how do you find the sum of first this number. Okay, so if I have a arithmetic sequence like 8, 13, 18, 23, 28, find out the sum of first 8 numbers, sum of 8 terms in the sequence. Okay, so from first term, which is 8, to till the 15th term, find out the sum of that. Okay. So I want everybody to start solving it, and I'm going to use that time for finding out okay. Yes. What is that? Okay. So I want everybody to try this one, okay? I'm using this time to do something to find a solution for this one without making you guys wait. Yep. Yeah, dear.
I finished, sir.
Wonderful. Okay. Yes. Okay. Alright, so I'm assuming that it will be a fairly straightforward thing, like what we have discussed. So I got a formula, okay? It says sum of first n numbers is sum of first n number is n times n plus 1 divided by 2. Let's validate this, okay? See if this is the right formula. If I'm talking about only one number starting from 1, okay? So here n is 1. So 1 multiplied by 1 plus 1, that is 2, divided by 2, it is 1. This is fine. First two terms, 1 and 2. So I'm talking about two terms, 1 and 2. So my value of n becomes 2. 2 multiplied by 2 plus 1 divided by 2. That is 2 times 3 by 2 is 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. That's fine. That works. If I'm talking about first 4 terms, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, sum of all these 4, I have 4 terms here, so this becomes 4 times 4 plus 1 divided by 2. So 4 times 5 divided by 2, that is 10. 1 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 4, 10. This works. Okay? So if I'm talking about sum of first 5 terms also, then this 4 becomes 5, this becomes 5 plus 1, so it becomes 5 times 6 by 2, that is 15 by 2, 30 by 2, which is 15. Yeah, so this formula works. So you can use this formula for. So now, what this formula says is sum of n terms, sum of first n natural numbers, that's what we'll call it, will be equal to, sum of n natural numbers will be equal to n times n plus 1 by 2. Now if we apply that formula to, let's say, solve a problem where we have to find out the sum of, let's say my arithmetic sequence is 15, 18, 21, 24 and so on and so forth, okay? Sum of first 50 numbers of this arithmetic sequence. What do we know? My A is equal to 15. What do we know? My B is equal to 3. And what we learned was this, that sum of first n number of numbers would be equal to n times A plus sum of natural numbers 0 till n minus 1. This many times B. Now here, if you are talking about finding out the sum of first 50 numbers, okay, so it will be 50, n will be 50. So we are talking about 50 times A, which is 15, plus sum of 0 to 14. So essentially we are talking about 1 to 14. That's what we are trying to add. And by this formula of adding first 14 natural numbers, it says n into n plus 1 divided by 2, which means by n is 14. So 0 we are discounting, no point counting that, that's some natural number. So 14 times 14 plus 1, which is 15 by 2, that means 15 times 7, which is 105. So here you have to put 105 times D, which is nothing but 3. So this equation becomes 15 times 15, 750 plus 105 times 3, 350. So by applying this formula, we were able to find out the sum of n number of terms or numbers in the sequence without memorizing much. Only thing that we had to memorize was sum of first n natural numbers, which is n times n plus 1 by 2. So this is something that we could have derived by ourselves also, just that we were not able to think on those lines, right? I mean, we looked at this formula and we interpreted that also by applying this same thing, right? So what we have learned so far is, we have learned what do we mean by arithmetic sequence? How do you find out the nth terms in the arithmetic sequence? And how do you find out the sum of first n terms in the arithmetic sequence without getting into the hassle of memorizing the formula? Does that resonate with you all? Do you think we have understood it well enough, or you see a problem?